What's good, everybody? It's 313 J Mo. I'm here with another video. The Lions they lost against the Cincinnati Bengals, just like the Lions to do. I mean, I could never put anything past Caldwell. Anything can happen. It was a very bad loss. It affected the team and the fan base quite a bit, only because it's how the fan base went. And if you see my video, I said I want us to go 10-6 and miss the playoffs, so we know the pain of missing the playoffs. Now I said that. So back when I was wanting them to win out, you know, people were wanting them to lose out, get a draft pick, and then they won a few games, and Atlanta's losing, and we like, oh, let's win this game and win out and make the playoffs. Now everybody want to do that all of a sudden, and now that we lost the game, then they switch up, go right in reverse. Now they mad, they bitter, bitching about all types of stuff, all types of problems and issues and stuff. And it's a lot that's been said. I do know the one general consensus among the fan base though is getting rid of Caldwell. I mean, we get rid of Caldwell, man, then it's cool. Then we good. I mean, I'm telling you, especially if we replace someone with like a Bill O'Brien. I know some people they want Josh McDaniel. Maybe Matt Patricia. It's some coaches out there. So I think we'll be fine on that front. And then we got all these once again this Stafford argument talk, and I don't even. You already know how I feel about Stafford, but I'm gonna say two things about this. One thing is I'm discussing with like some of my other friends. We talking about the Lions after they lost, because one of my friends, he said this from the beginning. He's like, he wanted us to tank so we could get a better position, better draft pick. So we talking or whatever. And he said this, and this is what I want y'all all listen to, because this is very important. And it's like I said, y'all got to look at the circumstance. Y'all got to look at the situation and the perspective and not the result. Not looking at the result, but the ends don't justify the means. But look, all the NFC South teams that we lost to, Atlanta, Carolina, the Saints, the Lions are far behind those teams. Those teams, they have running game, they have coaching, they have talent at the skill positions and stuff like that. The only thing that the Lions measure up with Carolina, the Saints, and Atlanta on is the quarterback position. But defensively, other than the quarterback, offensively, other than the quarterback, defensively, and like special teams, and like I said, the skill positions and like D tackle, D end, like all of that. We only measure up at the quarterback. We still got to get the running backs. We still got to get the defense. They already have it. That's the difference. That's why they're a good team. And that's why, my boy, he wanted us to tank, because he's like, we need to get these draft picks so we can get what they got, because we already got Stafford. Last thing on his mind is even talking about or even thinking about getting rid of Stafford. And my point to say that is, people who are smart and not thinking with emotion, think with your brain, man. You would know that, no, we got Stafford, we got one piece that we need, and we've been missing the other two pieces. Because, this is the one thing. Maybe the Steelers game will be one game. But I just find that every time Stafford has a bad game or doesn't have a great game, we always lose. Like, defense never does anything. Nobody else ever does it. Like, if Stafford has a bad game, we won't win the game. And if it don't even have to be a bad game. He have an average game, average quarterback game. A bad game is like 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, 1 touchdown. But even if he have a 1 touchdown, 1 interception, or no touchdowns or some shit like that, whatever. Like, the game, he could have still played a good game, or an average game. So that's it. And the next thing I want to talk about with Stafford is it's really hard to win alone. and you see it in a lot of other sports. And I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, he should have won some games, but and people say he's never won any big games. And then they say 5 and something, whatever record against winning teams. I'm sure the record has changed or whatever. Okay, so if he ever won any big games, are you gonna tell me every single one of those games, those little 5 wins that y'all like to always joke about, all were against division, none of them were against a good, actual good opponent? But one thing, when we need to go to the playoffs and we was on the road against the Raiders, I think it was Stafford's 3rd season, and we came back and we beat the Raiders, man. I'm just saying that seems like a big game to me, but I just find it whenever we get in these big games with Stafford, 95% of the time, I won't even say 100% of the time, the opposing team is better than us. They got more talent. They always do. It's never even. They always got more talent. Always. I mean, we talking about a guy who who's only had 2 Pro Bowlers on offense his whole career. Do you think about the gravity of that? Only 2. And they both was Megatron, and Golden Tate had that 1 Pro Bowl year in 2014. This is nothing, bro. Megatron had like what 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, maybe more, maybe more. So it's nothing, nothing on offense. Not a running back. No receivers. I mean, Marvin Jones is excellent. Megatron is excellent. Better than excellent. Kenny Galladay is a good receiver. When he develops, he'll be a beast. Golden Tate, he's good, but there's better. I think there's like 10 receivers better than him. And then CJ Jones, it's not really that much talent. Marvin Jones and Golden Tate are just, they're different types of players. And Tate he's okay. He has that ability to make people miss and stuff like that. He can make plays, but we don't have any playmakers. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Because one thing I noticed with the season being over, because the season is definitely over, we struggling in the red zone. Think about this. In the red zone, what target does Stafford have to throw to in the red zone that's our guy? Some teams have 2 go-to guys. Some teams have 1. We don't have 1. You want to say Marvin Jones, but I've seen him drop at least 4 passes this season that were touchdown passes, and some were in very games that we needed to win. So I've seen the ball go through his hands. It's as reliable as he's been. Like in the red zone, when the box gets small and it's harder to score, who we had to rely on? We had Megatron. We don't have that no more. And that's what we're missing. Eric Ebron was supposed to be that. He wanted to show up a little late. We need that. Anquan Bolden was that for us last year. Like when we was in the red zone, Anquan Bolden got TDs, man. So, and when Stafford, I don't even need to argue with y'all, man. He doesn't have an offensive line to protect him. Second most sacked quarterback in the league. Has a 27 ranked defense. The 32nd ranked rushing attack. And you expect him to even go to the playoffs. And his roster, the pass rush. I don't even know the pass rush rankings, but we know it's garbage. That's his roster. No talent. And the one time he had talent on his roster, the owners and the coaching staff, they got rid of the talent. Or they didn't pay for the talent. The talent left, and now we were talentless. And now we got to, hire Bob Quinn, fire Lombardi, and rebuild. But I think Bob Quinn will build this team. And once Bob Quinn builds a team around Stafford, because he's not going nowhere, so y'all can be mad and bitter all y'all want. Once he builds a team around Stafford and we are a dominant competitive team, y'all see what I've been talking about. Also, I'll say this year his passer rating is 99, and people say stats don't matter, but passer rating is a stat that definitely matters. Stafford, yeah, highest passer rating of his career, but he didn't have a good year, apparently, to some people. But he definitely shouldn't have lost that Cincinnati game. That was a terrible showing, but our offensive line, they got bullied that whole game. They were getting bullied from the first quarter, getting bullied. And I'm like, we're not going to win this game. Before Stafford did anything bad or anything. or the defense did anything bad. When I was watching the game and looking at our offensive line getting dominated like that, I'm like, they're not going to be able to win this game. And it ended up being true. But at this point, I'll just settle for an O-line for Stafford, man. I don't even need a running game and defense. Just give him, just protect him. Protect him. He can do a Tom Brady, because Tom Brady with that 30 when his defense be ranked low, he be having an offensive line. Just protect Stafford, keep him healthy. I think we would be able to do fine with that. But it's 3-on-3 J-Mo, man. I'm out of here, yo.